Alison, first let me say that the allegations made against me by Brian Deer, the freelance journalist, made in the Sunday Times and in the British Medical Journal, are completely false. They are without foundation.
And let me just tell our viewers what those allegations are that you're referring to. Brian Deer, the investigative journalist, claims that you perpetrated, quote, an elaborate fraud and that you falsified facts in your original report. Go on. What's your response to that?
Yes, let me characterize that. I was accused of altering the clinical histories and the test findings in these children in order to manufacture a disease which Brian Deer does not believe exists. And I have documents which I've now provided to you which show beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was no fraud, that these children suffered from inflammatory bowel disease, and that was reported accurately in The Lancet. And these documents will be posted later today on vaccinesafetyfirst.com so that anyone can read them.
And Dr. Wakefield, I have read those.
No, Alison, let me finish by saying there is a fraud, but the fraud is not coming from me. It is coming from Brian Deer.
Dr.
And it is a
Wakefield,
fraud that's being perpetrated against the children of this country, the parents of this country, and of the world.
I hear what you're saying. Do you, however, believe that there is a connection still today between the MMR, the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, and the development of autism?
Do I believe the parents report that their children regressed after vaccination and that the vaccinations are involved? Yes, I do. But that's my opinion. It is the opinion of the American court. It is the decision of the American Vaccine Court that vaccines can cause autism. That has been decided by the courts who weigh the evidence.
Doctor, I just want to get to the bottom of this, because basically what you're saying is, look, I only reported the parents' findings. The parents believe there's a connection, but parents aren't the expert. And because of your report, where you drew the link between MMR and autism, that caused a precipitous drop in the vaccination rate around the world. Why did you allow this fear to spread throughout Britain and America?
With the greatest respect, Alison, the fear existed. We did the study because the fear existed. We, as physicians, responded appropriately to the parents' concerns. The concerns were not only in England, they were here. We responded. Had those children regressed after chickenpox, natural chickenpox, we would have reported that in the paper. It is not our job as physicians and scientists to censor the parents' story because it's uncomfortable. Had we done that and it turned out that it was real, as I believe it is, then you would come back to me and say, why did you not include that? You could have warned me earlier.
Dr. Wakefield,
that is the way science is done.
Also, as you know, as we just said, there was a precipitous drop in the vaccination rate after your report came out. And
no,
many
there wasn't,
kids,
Alison, and I want to pick you up on that.
It went from 92% to 80%, and many parents said that their kids did get measles or mumps or rubella because they didn't vaccinate them. Do you bear some responsibility for that?
Alison, let me correct you on that. I advocated very strongly for the use of the single vaccines, single measles, mumps, rubella, which were available at the time in the UK. The vaccination uptake did not fall. MMR went down, but there was a reciprocal increase in the use of single vaccines. Measles did not come back. Then, 6 months after I made that recommendation, the government in the UK unilaterally withdrew the importation licence for the single vaccines, thereby depriving parents of an opportunity to vaccinate their children. Then vaccination rates went down. Then measles came back. The British government is solely responsible for that happening.
Doctor, one more thing. The report by Brian Deer in the British Medical Journal also claimed that you stood to financially profit from a lawsuit against the MMR manufacturers. Did you collect $750,000 as a result?
No, I did not. I collected over a 9-year period of working on the litigation, as many medical experts do, a sum of money which then was donated to an initiative to build a new centre for the Royal Free Hospital to look at children with developmental disorders and bowel disease. I made no profit whatsoever. I lost my job, my career, my country, and that is a high price to pay, but a price that I have readily paid and would pay again for these children. They are worth